Howdy, folks. It's Johan, your favorite little ink blob, back at it today with another Murders at Karlov Manor draft. Did have a brief moment of panic. It's been a while since I've been doing stuff like this. I'm like, no, can't be going away in 2 days. Premier draft is not going away in 2 days. But while I am at a somewhat low gem total, I might need to start doing double up drafting. Maybe I'll do those as recordings or something, chop them up a little bit better, so that we can actually hopefully get to set completion, because if my draft calculator is correct, I think I'm still somewhat, about another 25 drafts away. Well, hopefully we can have a slightly better performance and lower that number a bit. But for today, we're just sticking with another Premiere draft, and we're gonna hop on in and hopefully have luck like yesterday, where we just crack open something like a Rakdos Pack 1, but not the terrible play streamer like we had yesterday of auto-tapping to the ward, something we were killing with a long goodbye while we had a 2-drop in hand. Alright, let's see what we've got. Ready? Ooh, very fast. We have motivated folks. And we start off with a case of the Stashed Skeleton. Got one of these yesterday, and it was fantastic. I don't think we ever even used it as a demonic tutor, but yeah, it's a very good aggressive creature that then goes and pulls the best thing out of your deck, and it's a 2-drop, which is quite important. Other cards here that I think I would like. I would want to try Reckless Detective. I have heard some good things about this, trying to watch some other folks recently. Inside Source, I think, is fantastic, and Gadget Technician and Tipster, I think, are both very good, but we will take the rare, because it is a fantastic one. Analyze the Pollen. I do not feel is quite as good of a rare. We could follow this up with a Murder, which is a good removal spell for some of their big bombs, but there's also a lot of ones that will kind of fizzle it. I still think it's a decent follow-up to a case. Question here, I don't think Expose the Culprits is good, or Mask Maker. I think we could also take a Killer Among Us. And be pretty happy, go green-black. Well, okay, I'm gonna take a Killer Among Us. Does not mean we're committing to green and black, but I think that's the best card there. Ooh. Oh, hey, Ghost Quarter. So now we are looking at a Harried Dronesmith, which I think is fantastic, but is it as fantastic in the red and black deck? I do not know. Repeat Offender, I think, is fairly solid, and Shock, I think, can also do some good work. I'm going to take the Repeat Offender. It's a solid 2-drop. Soul Enervation, I think, is fairly solid. You are likely to get some incidental value, but it's also just -4/-4, which can dodge some of the ways to make things survive. It's a flash enchantment. Yes, I think I will take that. Karlov Watchdog. Yeah, I do like the antheming. Here we could go for a Rot Farm Mortipede, type of thing that you want with that soul enervation, but we don't have a lot of collect evidence. We could also just take a Pompous Gadabout, which I think often trades fairly well. I haven't really gotten to play with it, but it's a card that I would like to like, I think. So I think I will try it. Mistway Spy. Yeah, Polygraph Orb I don't think is fantastic. Vengeful Creeper I think is actually very solid. I do think we're probably going green, and being able to deal with artifact and enchantments while also just being a big boy, I think is something you're very happy about. Case of the Trampled Garden, I think, is a very powerful case. Makes attacking, I think, very, very strong and can be very good, especially if you've got a lot of low drops for just really trampling over some early disguised out face down creatures. Chalk outline if we saw that insidious roots again, perhaps, but I'm not feeling like I'm often triggering that kind of stuff in draft. Slice from the Shadows, I think we're happy to pick up here. Basilica Stalker, also decent. It looks like red-black is fairly open, but that might just be that pack. I guess we take the Coroner here. Curious Inquiry is an interesting one, but I don't think we're in the deck that can really leverage it. I don't think we're probably playing the Coroner, but we'll still take it. Fey Flight, I think, is fantastic. Um, but I guess we can actually potentially play the Crocodile. Don't think we're playing the Ghost Quarter, so we'll take the Cryptex for the rare value. And Thinking Cap, we are more likely to play. Doesn't add up, I suspect. Crash, we will not play, but we'll take it. Hide in Plain Sight, a good green rare, although we do also have the land. So this is a way to sort of go tutor up some creatures. We do also have the Tipster, which I think is always fantastic. And the Topiary Panther, I'm starting to come around on as something that can help fix and make sure you get your mana, as well as just being very big. But I think I will go with the Hide in Plain Sight for now. Something that can help dig us out of a hole relatively well. Triple rare pack. But we've got another Panther, which I'm very happy to see. I think it's good top end. The Unscrupulous Agent I don't think is what we want to be doing here, but we could use some more 2-drops. Molten Psyche. Not on my watch. Interesting. I don't think I've ever actually seen that come around in a draft. Presumed Dead, I think, is a fantastic trick, especially with things like Soul Enervation and Insidious Roots, but I think a second repeat offender here is just very good. As I was saying, we want more good 2-drops. I think that a body that trades with disguise creatures early and late game can turn into a huge threat on its own is fantastic. Not really interested in a chalk outline. I don't think we have enough ways to trigger it. Because we aren't really built around the Soul Enervation. We could take a Rebel Belt Maverick, but I think we'll pick up the Presumed Dead. Case of the Crimson Pulse, I do think is relatively decent, but guess folks aren't taking it. Red did seem fairly open. I think Nervous Gardener is the pick here. We could also take the Persuasive Interrogators, but I think the 2-drops are more important in general. Plus, we've got the Topiary Panther. Combine Chrysalis, had not seen that one before either. Fester Leech, I don't think we play, but I think we're more likely to play than they went this way. Second Nervous Gardener. Probably not what we want to be doing, but we will still take it. Lead Pipe. I love me a Lead Pipe. I think a second Vengeful Creeper would be respectable, but Lead Pipe can turn a lot of our stuff into threats. I do also think Edge Whisper is fairly powerful. It blocks some stuff early, but I love Rakish Scoundrel. That said, I draft the Rakish Scoundrel decks and lose, so perhaps I should be taking the Hedge Whisperer. We'll take the Kylox for value. And we could probably manage a Rift Burst Hellion. It's not a guarantee. Sure, we'll take the Maverick. I don't think we run it. And there comes that they went this way again. Axebane Ferox. A fantastic pickup for our 4 slot. Other cards that we would consider here, Hard-Hitting Question, I think is a decent removal spell. Rotvar Mortipede, I also think is somewhat decent. If we were not in this deck, we would be very happy about that concealed weapon, but we are. So I think we've got a fairly good bomb there. Ooh, kind of a stinky pack for us, but I think we can take the Macabre Reconstruction and have that as a consideration. I don't think we have the bombs we want to really get back with it, but we do see another Hedge Whisperer, which I think is probably fine to pick up. I think it's fairly good and gives us some collect evidence shenanigans to do. Haunted Bone Brute. Ooh, Putrid Warrior. I think we can at least consider this. So it's a 6/2 menace, and then they create 2 1/1s. But then what? Oh, but you can disguise it in. Interesting. I don't know if we play it. I do think we take it, though. I don't think there was much else in that pack for us. Toxin Analysis, I think, is a very good combat trick. We could also get another Rakish Scoundrel, but 2 might be a bit much. Now we'll try the Toxin Analysis. I'm sorry, a pick 6 Homicide Investigator? So no one else is in black, right? Speaking of good 2-drops. Hot damn. Yeah, we could take another Repeat Offender, but nope, I think we're good. Ooh. Do we take the Moroi? Or do we take the Stalker? I think we're in a position where I think we can still afford to take another 6-drop that can be played down early. The Moroi is just kind of a tough sell for me. And I think we're happy with a Mortipede here. The second Mortipede might be a bit much, but we will take it and probably trim it. Aftermath Analyst, I don't think is our jam, but I think it's more our jam than a second off-color Crocodile. We will probably cut the Hellion just because it's going to be a bit tough to play. Don't think we run the Unscrupulous Agent. We have much better 2-drops, I think. Persuasive Interrogators, I think, is a consideration, but I think we've got a fairly aggressive curve. Well, okay. That seems like a fairly decent Golgari draft. We've got some solid removal and some very good 2-drops. 2 rare 2-drops, no less. Okay. So I do like to just count my rares after the draft while I'm still trying to draft to set completion. So we got 6 rares there. That seems mighty solid. Yes, that was a draft and a half's worth of rares, not counting the packs. So, feel good about that, especially since I think it's a decent deck. Oh, sorry, 7. I missed the hide in plain sight, which seems appropriate. Okay. So we need to make 2 cuts. Let's look at our creature distribution. So we have 5 2-drops. Sorry, 6, basically, with the case. Which is a little lower than I would like, but I think still doable. It does look like we have a lot of non-creatures, but a lot of these are creatures. Case is a creature. Hide in plain sight is a creature. Killer among us is a creature. So we've got lead pipe, toxin analysis, slice, presumed dead. We do have the double mortipede, so I think presumed dead is somewhat more valuable. The nervous gardener can't help dig us out. It's a little awkward, but in the worst case, it's just a bear. So, is hide in plain sight actually good with this amount of non-creatures? Because we couldn't turn them face up. It can turn lands into creatures. I mean, it's a way to just get 2/2/2s. I think that's honestly fine in your 4 slot, especially if they can then sometimes be turned face up later. Bone Brute? I mean, it's got Menace. It makes them lose 3 life. And you probably want to disguise it. But if you do, so it's basically, so think of it more as like a 5 mana 6/2. Would I play a 5 mana 6/2 with Menace that makes your opponents lose 3 life when it dies? So if it was over here, hmm, hmm, tough one. I think I would ultimately, especially since it can be paid in installments. Cut the coroner, because I don't think the coroner is particularly great. I think it needs to be one of these non-creature spells. It might be the toxin analysis. So, okay, removal, we have slice and we have soul enervation. Toxin analysis and presumed dead as combat tricks are kinda sorta, but not exactly. I think it might be the toxin analysis. Lifelink is. I haven't gotten to play with it, but. And you investigate. That's just. There is so much that goes on there. Pipe is very good. Case of the Trampled Garden, I think, is kind of a bomb. Oh, nope, we want that Basilica Stalker back. Just trying to look at it as if it were a 3-drop. So, like, our curve isn't too terrible when you look at it that way. What to cut? What to cut? I think it is the toxin analysis. Might be wrong, but I think it's a good card. I think making sure that we actually hit our creatures is also important. And I think as far as combat tricks go, I think presumed dead is a bit better for us. But if we're finding ourselves going, man, I really wish we had that lifelink, perhaps I will change my mind. Let's go with a Golgari Nissa. Let us go with some Witherbloom sleeves. And sure, we'll go with a Phyrexian Knight, though it's a progress might. All right, I think that's going to be our deck. A rare stacked Golgari semi-aggressive deck. It's going to be interesting. Thomas S18. Well, we've got a 2-drop into a 3-drop into a second 3-drop and a very aggressive 4-drop. I think this is fantastic if we can pull it off. Yeehaw! Ooh, okay. We're fighting Saruman over here. I think Jason Saruman would get along. Ooh. Leading off with a Gorehound, not bad. But we do draw our land for the Axebane Ferox, which I think is quite fantastic. Repeat Offender. Will you trade us both for the skeleton? No. The answer is no. Would kind of love to draw some not lands, but we will attack. No reason not to. We'll play the Pompous Gadabout, which cannot block. Or cannot block well. The Repeat Offender, I think, still attacks, but they might block just to hold it off. Or they will slice it. I'm okay with that getting sliced, I think. And we're still winning this race. Would really love not lands. But we get to attack with a hasty 4/4 Death Touch with some protection. They do not have enough collect evidence to pay the ward at this point. Damn, okay. So we are out. We are out of gas. So they could trade their entire board with the Ferox right now, which I think we'd be okay with. Lead Pipe. I think Lead Pipe will get on the skeleton, make it a much bigger threat. A swamp would have been good for us, but I think... So now they're in a position where they either trade 2 things for the skeleton or their entire board for the Ferox. Probably trade the entire board for the Ferox? Yep. I am a-okay with that, I think. This needs to assign 1 damage to each, because with Death Touch, any amount of damage dealt greater than 0 is lethal. So now we have a 4/4 Menacing Skeleton that if they kill lets us actually tutor up more gas. I'm kinda liking our chances. Okay, there's some more gas. And we just get to hit in for 4. Fantastic. We will run out the Mortipede. And since they know it's a land, might as well go empty-handed. This is like an Aurelia's Vindicator? We might be in trouble. Pass. Oh, the fact that it's also so much green we've been drawing. Well, I think we attack in with both, because they either need to double block the skeleton, or... Yeah, they need to double block the skeleton, I think. So... Okay. I think we will kill the Mortipede. Because we really want to make sure they don't get lifelink. Oh, right. Oh, I forgot about the 1 life loss. Well, would you look at that? Wow. So yeah, that was just 100% lethal on board. Wow, that is an aspect of Lead Pipe that I had always glossed over and seems fantastic. A little bit of extra reach matters. So, okay. An aggressive game 1. In contrast to our very grindy Rakdos game yesterday. Did draw a lot of lands, but we're still able to power through it. I think that's a very good demonstration of why I love Lead Pipe, because that turned the skeleton from a kind of threat into one that made it they needed to answer and put them in a very tough position. Ooh. We're on the play. All we can actually play in this hand is a Lead Pipe. If we draw a card, it's still probably not great, so we will mulligan. Probably worse, but We will keep it. I think we ship off the lead pipe. We really want a black source here. I think we want, like, Nervous Gardener into a black source. Would be our absolute ideal. Wow, we are drawing half our deck. Or we keep drawing, like, the wrong half. Interesting, okay. Well, we can disguise out the Basilica Stalker. They crack a clue. And next turn, we can Case of the Trampled Garden, make it a 4/4. Then if we draw a land, hopefully a swamp. If we draw a swamp, I think we just Rot Farm Mortipede most likely. And then we'll know that we can follow it up with a Killer Among Us. Steamcore Scholar. Ooh, okay. So we do have interesting choices here. I think I'm okay trading the Basilica Stalker this early, especially because I don't think they will trade. So I'm going to attack in, and then run out the Mortipede. Next turn we can Killer Among Us, and then hopefully Case of the Trampled Garden flip, not flip, but solve that turn. This could be an ill-timed explosion deck that we're facing, but I'm optimistic. They haven't been playing out an awful lot to the board. Guess we could also flip the Stalker next turn, which might be good. Ah, there they're playing out more to the board. I think what I would like to do here... So... they can double block and kill a 3/4. And we only kill a 2/2. Which feels bad. I think we hold and end of turn, possibly in response to combat, but also possibly end of their turn, flip up the Basilica Stalker, and try and eat the Steamcore Scholar. Yeah, let's give that a shot. I think Killer Among Us also would have been quite good, but we don't want to get aggressive this turn. We could have done Case of the Trampled Garden, but then we really only could have attacked in with the Mortipede effectively. So they are Teamer. Intriguing. Oh my god, a Vanifar? Ugh. Well, we need a slice. Or something. That can just take over the game so fast. Yes, it's a free attack. Sick. Okay, that helps a little. Hide in plain sight, I do not think is bad. So we can Case of the Trampled Garden and try to race them. Actually, yeah, so, okay, a Killer Among Us, I think, is good for trying to hit them on the ground, but we'll get a Surveil off Basilica Stalker. We leave up 3 as if we had a combat trick. And it's going to be hard to deal with Vanifar no matter what, but if we do 1 counter, 1 counter, we hit for 4, we gain a life, we surveil 1, and we can potentially block Vanifar, so they won't be crashing in with it. And Case of the Trampled Garden will start growing our stuff. It's awkward mana use, but I think that is our best card here. Axebane Ferox, I think, really ups our aggression, so I do think we keep it. Especially since we can give it Trample, so it's Trample and Death Touch. I mean, we are in a rough spot. That's not great mana utilization, but okay, so they're just growing it. So they're going to flip that up. Interesting. So not attacking with the detective. I don't think we block, because I suspect that this flips up into something that can eat our Mortipede. This is tougher than normal since it was cloaked rather than disguised, so it could be any 5-drop creature in those colors. So anything with 4 power could flip up, and it would have 5 power to kill the Mortipede. Gravestone Strider. Okay. And I think we just run out the Axebane Ferox. And we will attack with both. We could also attack, so hold on. So that's going to be 4, 7, 10, 11. So yeah, we do want to leave something back that's able to block, rather than going for this somewhat, yeah, it wouldn't even be lethal. So yeah, 100% leave it back to block. Okay, combat trick, chase. Oh, brutal. Okay, so that's what they were holding up, I'm guessing. We will pitch the land. That hurts a lot, but that is interesting that they didn't attack with the detective, but I'm guessing that's why they considered it. 2 counters. So that's kind of the obvious block. So that would be 6, 10. So does this have an additional 5 power? It might. I'm hoping the answer is no. The answer is probably yes, and this is probably just going to kill us. But if we block there and it eats our Mortipede, I think we're still dead anyway. Well, no, I guess we follow up with... No, okay, we do block here. It feels awful, but we get to follow up with a Killer Among Us, which adds a lot of chump blockers to the field. Ansrag. Oh, shoot. Ah, but it was doing it after blocks, so... Okay. But I think we are still dead because we have to chump it and then they get an additional combat phase. So we could kill... So yeah, I mean, if this wasn't Ansrag, most of the other things don't have trample. So we could in another. Oh, wait. Because presumed dead would actually kill it, so we could trade. So then potentially we can survive. I don't think we probably do, but we can try it. Well, guess we dig out the Hedge Whisperer and the Repeat Offender. Hold up, presumed dead. No blocks. I think we're still just dead, but I'm willing to try and make them nervous. See if they don't do an all-out attack. Unfortunately, this does return suspected, so it can't block in the second combat. Which I know is a kind of weird and niche case. Now, if this was toxin analysis, we would get life and probably actually, yes, survive. Yeah, we do just die because we block here, we chump, we trade, we take 4, and then they get to untap and attack for the remaining 2 lethal. Do they have something? Oh, and another first strike, yeah. Fantastic combat trick. That has blown me out so many times. But hey, at least they get their second Anzrag trigger. Oh, and Vanifar. Fantastic. Come on, attack! You get this! You got to mole me, bro. We were facing down Vanifar and Anzrag. We were in positions where we could have potentially killed them without having a 2-drop. I don't think that was on us. I think that's the bombs happen, especially in this format. I think we made a correct mulligan decision, even if it was awkward. And I think we did the best we could with it, just about. Happy Meal Killer. Oh. They kill Happy Meals? Or they kill and then leave a Happy Meal? Well, we've got mono 2-drops, one of which is a Homicide Investigator. Which we probably don't run out first, but we feel very happy to have. I think this is probably a Repeat Offender into face down Nervous Gardener, flip up. The next turn, possibly doing the Homicide Investigator then. That's, I think, the current game plan. The Mole Detective. Hello! You are Squee, and you have cute kitten sleeves. Seasoned Consultant. Well, in that case, I think I will just run out a Nervous Gardener as a 2-2 so that it can block. Don't want to run out the Homicide Investigator into that yet, but I do think something with 2 toughness rather than the Repeat Offender is a good idea. Alright. Then yes, I'm still on this plan of let's Nervous Gardener, ward, face down. Pass the turn. And then probably next turn, turn it face up for a green source, and then Homicide Investigator or Repeat Offender. Possibly do both of those and don't turn it face up yet. So we're both kind of in a weenie fight right now. But next turn, they will get to attack in as a 3/3. I think a Homicide Investigator. And I think we will Nervous Gardener face up, but we'll hold off on it so that it's not 100% known. Because I don't like how the Repeat Offender would block here. And I want to get that land, but I think we're double blocking with Nervous Gardener, so I want to make sure we get that value. And then we also probably get to investigate off of that. Case of the Pilfered Proof. So they are sort of a Esper detectives, I suppose. Oh, they are not attacking. I suppose they really want to get the value off of it. Get the solve. Okay. Well, we will be able to Repeat Offender here. Don't think we have attacks. Now the question is, do I Repeat Offender, or do I Repeat Offender suspect it? I think I Repeat Offender. Then hopefully we get to break through with the Topiary Panther starting next turn. Well, we get to slam the Topiary Panther, and hopefully it will help us break through. They are on 4 lands. But using the Researcher. Devious Cover-Up. Are we getting Wrathed? No. Okay, Flying Detective. On the bright side, we now feel free to attack in with our 2/2s next turn. That is out of Soul Enervation range, unfortunately. But we slam a Jamma. And slam a Panther. Come on and jam, and welcome to the slam. Wait a moment. Alright, so next turn we're probably going to Enervation something and give an Offender Menace. That would be my guess. They get rid of the Panther, we're feeling pretty bad. We absolutely ditch the swamp. Yerp. They are doing what they can to smooth their draws with these attacks. If this is a not on my watch, I will be quite sad, I think. But I think we attack with not the Homicide Investigators. Yeah, because I think even if we do the Repeat Offender twice, we're not feeling great, but we might end up doing that end of turn. Oh, hey, a not on my watch. That blows. That really sucks. And it doesn't even trigger the homicide investigator. Okay, double block, let 2 through, and we get to soul enervate. I think you're researcher. Hmm. No, we'll be the seasoned consultant. I'm more afraid of the damage at this point because they have a big clock in the air. Oh, got a combat trick? A 1 black, so toxin analysis? If you're spending that on, I'm okay with that. Especially now we get to trigger the homicide investigator. We are still in a bad way. We really don't have. I guess a slice would help us answer the flyer, but we're still kind of in trouble on the ground then. This is where murder is useful. Let's make them think we have the reach combat trick. Nope, not if we tap like that. Okay, Mortipede, not what we need here. It's not bad, but it's not digging us out of this hole. Presumed dead is actually nice. Because now I kind of feel comfortable attacking in with everything. Oh, but they can untap the Basilica Stalker? Ooh. So we will double attack with the repeat offenders. No, because we can't even grow them. We can't grow them enough. But I still think we attack in. They untap, they block with the Basilica Stalker, probably. No, they just aren't doing that. I'm okay trading our tutus. We get a clue. We get to Rot Farm Mortipede. We pass the turn. They tap down one of our blockers. Oh, okay. This might just be us dead. Wasn't thinking about that. No, they are untapping. Untapping to crack a clue. So, not the most terrifying of disguised creatures, I suppose. We don't really have a way to... Oh, actually, yeah, this isn't as valuable with Mortipede because we don't really have a way to use it like that. Because it will happen after combat. Yeah, I think we want the toxin analysis. We're just dead here. Damn. Okay. Four or five flyer on... Yeah, not a whole lot we could do there. We had removal, just not big enough removal. Maybe Soul Enervation just isn't good. We don't really have ways to get value off of it, so it's kind of expensive and doesn't kill some of the things we need it to kill. So, revisiting the deck, I think toxin analysis in, the presumed dead out. Yeah, we don't really have ways to make the mortipedes or the soul enervation work. So then the question is, do we go down and just focus exclusively pretty much on Slice from the Shadows, and instead of soul enervation, just run the presumed dead, go even more aggressive? I think that might be the way. I think we can try that. That might be silly, but howdy, Cholera. How's it going? We've got a pretty sick Golgari deck today. The first match, yes, it was. 'Twas fun. Um, our first match, just catching you up, we stomped it. Second match, we ran into a Vanifar and Ansrag deck. Not a whole lot to do there. And then finally, we just now bumped into someone turning up a Basilica Stalker on with a +1/+1 counter, which was surprisingly difficult to deal with. And now we're against Bat Boy Slim. Good name, good name. So we can Lead Pipe into Nervous Gardener into Disguise that. I think it's keepable, probably slow. How's it going for you, Cholera? Yes, exactly. Right here, right now. Funk Soul Brother. Boros. I've heard tell that Boros is a very popular deck to draft in this format. And we just keep drawing lands. Are we willing to make this trade? I think the answer is yes. What's your turn 3 play? Are you gonna destroy my pipe? No! Oh, that's so rude. I'm ruined. I think we actually play out the... Oh, alright. And, I get email notifications on when I've got missed messages, so I would have noticed probably after the stream. I think we run out the offender here so that we can block the orangutan comfortably. Yeah, I think we're just kind of aggressively trading here. All good. I get it. You have a fun way of speaking that tends to be overly formal in a delightful fashion. I don't think we're getting any of the indestructible value, and we're just running it out as a 3/3 Death Toucher that can hopefully block whatever they've got going on. They seem to be stuck on 3 lands. I mean, we've got... Fine. Let's not block so that we can do Homicide Investigator and Case of the Trampled Garden next turn. Okay. Ooh, Bone Brute is interesting. We could run that out without it hurting us at all this turn, but I think doing our double spell is better. And we will case, and I think we do 1 counter each. Crack on in. I wonder if this is Dog Walker. They get their 4th land. Isn't it a pretty limited vice? Yeah, considering how much is going on, but consider that the Azorius do also arrest people for thinking about crimes. Very, what is that, Brave New World? Or, no, is it? It's the Orwell novel. 1984, there we go. For thought crimes, right? Only investigates human murders. I'm sure I think any humanoid. I mean, that right there, they've got pointy ears, so I'm fairly certain is an elf. I think they would still investigate like a Minotaur getting murdered, a Vidalkin, so on and so forth. But, and I mean, we do see in the story that even though there are ghosts, they will still investigate murders of people who will just come back and continue life essentially as normal. Because Teysa gets murdered, and we know that she will come back as a ghost, but we don't see her for a while because it takes her a while to get her things in order, essentially. They are thinking hard. Probably jamming out to some good Fatboy Slim. Okay. Not really what you want to see. I think we attack with just the 4/4 since it has the Death Touch. Needs to look for strapping for... She needs to look strapping for the scene of their death. Exactly, gotta look very dapper. I'm fairly certain they can flip one of these up into something that could kill the homicide investigator, so we'll go with the Death Toucher. Okay, hey, we see that spell an awful lot, don't we? We do get to investigate, though, which I like. And we will make a... Actually, I think we flip it face up already, so that Case of the Trampled Garden triggers. So, we are out of cards. We do have a clue to crack, and if they don't kill this, we get to attack them with a 7/3 Trampling Menace creature next turn, which I like. It is a very nice hat. The Bone Brute card almost single-handedly defeated me in one of my first... Oh. Yeah, it can be pretty scary, I think. It usually is going to trade for at least 2 things. It's it's a wee bit awkward, but I think it is overall quite good. No, we are not blocking that. Okay, Crocodile. Fair enough. But I think our creature is bigger. And we get a Ferox to boot, and I'm not afraid of them turning that face up. So I actually think... So hold on, so that would be 11, 14, so we would be just shy, but I think we still put the counter and trample on our Death Toucher because they can't block the 6/2. It's one of the few cards that would be better if it was suspicious. I don't think so, because it already has Menace, right? So, it's like it's suspected, but it can still block if they attack with some very, very huge thing. Yeah, you can't block that. I know you want to, but it has Menace. So, either chump my 3/3, block this, and it tramples over. Oh, thought it was trample? Yeah. If this had trample, that would be fantastic, but Case gives it trample when you put the 1/1 counter on. So they're at 2. I don't think there's... Even if this was a Hellion, right? They still don't kill us. We have gotten got before, but I think that was a reasonable all-in attack. Okay, making me nervous. Do you have lethal, opponent? I can't do anything. I'm going to cry if you have lethal. It's like, I guess we could have kept back the homicide investigator and still probably killed them, but I got Pyrotechnic Performer in my sealed on release day, but I have not gotten it since. It does seem fantastic. It'd be very scary with the undercover crocodile. Are they just hoping I'll concede? Good game. One way or the other. What's up, opponent? Okay. So do you have another... Oh, do you have the second one? Yeah. Something that will flip it up into another 3 power? Oh, if this is a lightning helix... Oh, no. This is going to be a lightning helix, isn't it? Oh, we're gonna get helixed. Maybe it's a mom get the camera moment. Quite possibly. Shock? You. Oh, my heart. So, should not have attacked with the homicide investigator. But that is why you don't concede until they have it. Make them have it. Oh. Oh, my heart. Live to fight another day. Mighty sketchy. Okay. Oh, breathe, Johan. Breathe. Okay. Make better choices in the future so we're not that scarily close, but good to know. Reminds me of, was it LSV that played an event where he was doing like a gifts storm deck and forgot to actually put the payoff in, I think it was supposed to be like a tendrils payoff, and he didn't put it in his sideboard, so he couldn't actually wishboard for it, but still managed to win a number of games by bluffing? Something along those lines. Like, I mean, if you've got the option, absolutely go for the bluff. Sometimes you win, but also don't fall for bluffs. Make them have it. Sharp-eyed rookie. Okay, if they've got a deck that can take advantage of it, we are in trouble. But otherwise, we hopefully just get to slice it and move on with our lives. Slice it. Slice it real good. Dun, 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 dun. I mean, even just a 3 power so that it became... Oh, ho, 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 ho. I think what we do here is I think we attack with Repeat Offender and see whether or not they block. If they block and try and combat trick, they do not. Unfortunately, I am once again kind of fake fan because I know Right Here, Right Now and Funk Soul Brother, and I like them both about equally. The fact that they're leaving up mana, I really want to kill it, but I'm really afraid that they're just going to have a combat trick and fizzle it. But that's better to happen on my turn than theirs, so I'm going to try it. This might be bad. Nope, they're just oh, okay. Oh, and Ferox. Hey, we've got that card. Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of great answers to it at the moment. So, Vengeful Creeper, we probably want to play down next turn, just so that we can block and trade. So we'll just attack on in. Ferox is a very scary card to deal with combat trick-wise. I really don't want to try double blocking it. No blocks. Strider, okay. Like, it sucks. We would love to get the value off the Vengeful Creeper, but I think we need to play something down that can trade. No attacks. I mean, this is the third win game or third loss, so this is for all the marbles. Oh, no, okay. Shoot. We can turn a land into a 5/5, which is mighty awkward. We might try double blocking here. Oh. Never mind. Jeez. So yeah, we're going to have to try and use a land to trade. Sack a land, kill a Ferox. That they might just remove beforehand. Yeah. I mean, it does destroy the land, but I think we've gotta... Yes, auto-pay the other ones. Exiling Vengeful Creeper. This is not good. Is it? Oh! Oh my goodness. We are so dead. That blows. Not a good way to end the draft. Yes, we will untap it. So I mean, like, we could Lead Pipe equip, and then chump, and then try and I think that's our best bet, rather than playing out the other 2/2s. No attacks. Yeah, I was gonna say, you still attack with the 1/3. I'm not in a position where I can block it, really. Trample combat trick, or... No, okay. Like, we are still in a bad way, but not just dead. I stand corrected. Oh, that is brutal. Hey, good deck, opponent. Here's our 2 rares. 3 Axebane Feroxes have been... Well, actually, technically speaking, this is not an Axebane Ferox while face down. But, yep, good game. Ugh. So I do think Macabre Reconstruction can be a very good card. I don't think we quite had the deck for it, but I do think Green-Black is that archetype. Oh, 2 and 3. No, was feeling so good. It happens though. It happens. And we've got almost enough gold for another draft. So we will be able to come back with that later, but that is going to be today's draft. It, I think, was a fantastic, super sweet deck, just ran into bad luck, which happens. I think I'll do like 2 quick games of standard, try and end on a somewhat higher note, hopefully. Maybe do 3 if we're on a real win tear. Maybe we get to Diamond 2. And then we will call it for today for Magic. I think that deck was very good. I think we kept some good hands. I do think trading off aggressively that game was correct. Um, no, that was the game before. I do think that was correct. We won, duh, of course. I do think that, yeah, as I think we did everything we could in that game. We just did not have the answers to their questions. Okay, kind of awkward hand, but I think a keepable one. We, I think, turn 1 the Battlefield Forge, because if we do draw the Gleeful Demolition, we want to have the double red across the first 2 turns. Oh, interesting. Case of the Filched Falchion. Falcon? Falcon, not Falchion. A Falchion is a very large sword and it'd be kind of hard to filch. Cute little dog. Fox? Why did I call it a dog? It's dog-like. Foxes are in Canada, right? Not Canada, but the canid species. Hmm. What do you know? Well, we'll attack in for 1. We will run out the Novice Inspector. And we will blow up the blood token. And then get hit by a temporary lockdown GG. Right? That's how matches against blue-white run. I was thinking about the Golgari deck you were running yesterday, and I'm trying to figure out if there's like I'm trying to figure out if there's a big green deck in the format, and I'm wondering if it might actually be a big Golgari deck that's running like Nightclubbers and Path to Peril. Oh no, not 100% sure on it. I think we will probably attack in and Gateway Express. Like I do enjoy refilling with the Knight Errant here, but I think I think they would have done temporary lockdown last turn if they had it. So we're kind of trying to get in under their trying to get in under any board wipe. They're Vulpine in genus, but canine in overarching species category. Gotcha. That's I am terrible at remembering the terrible at remembering my zoology because it's what kingdom, phylum, order, class, genus, species. Is that it? I feel like I'm missing. Oh, I'm missing family in there somewhere. Ah, no, no more lies. So rude. Kingdom, phylum, order, class, family, genus, species, maybe? I've never been a big one for mnemonic devices for like, remembering the first word of each. All right. I just, yeah, I'm I do remember that foxes are closer to dogs than cats. A Tezzeret. Okay, interesting. No internet. I'm not looking for Fox News. I'm looking for Wikipedia entry for Fox. Their family is Canidae, and their subfamily is Caninae. So, kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, species. Okay. Intriguing. So, Ward 2, we get to Gateway Express, Zot, pay the ward. We actually need to pay the ward this time, unlike in the draft yesterday. We get it back, we get to investigate again, fantastic. And while we could use that to run out the Knight Errant, I think we kill the Walker and zot them. Taxonomy hasn't been your strong suit when it comes to technical detail. Yep, same here. That's, I think, the large depth of my knowledge in the field goes, aren't birds dinosaurs and aren't foxes closer to dogs than cats? So, this feels rude, and they get to discover 3, but I think we gleeful demolition their 5-4. Cryptic Coat. On the bright side, we are able to attack through that. And I think what we do is we attack with 3 things. They probably trade off 2, and then we get to Resolute Reinforcements restock with Knight Errant. Digging for 4, which, yeah. Okay, we've cleared their board just about. And this does seem like one that isn't, this doesn't seem like they're probably running a board wipe. This is more of an aggressive build. Isn't there also a category for how an animal's feet are formed? I honestly have no clue. Like plantigrade, digigrade, and ungulate? Oh, ungulate, yes. Because I don't know how that fits in. I assumed that was a part of the other classifications because actually let me look it up because I know that deer are ungulates. Because I did a report in like 7th grade. So ungulate are members of the diverse clade Ungulata. So it's a Mur order. Mir order? Like Mirari, but order. Well, here we get to a Nimpakal and crash through for lethal, I think. So yes, it looks like you are correct that they do have classifications based solely on how the feet are constructed. I'm not, and it doesn't fall neatly into the kingdom phylum class order type deal. Intriguing. That's I am interested in librarianship. I do think that's something I'm going to be working towards here. Ooh, rare card. Unctus. I don't know, an Unctus sounds like something that would also fit into Unctus sounds like something that would fall into a zoological taxonomical study. Um, I haven't actually seen this though. So it's a Phyrexian Vidalcan. Cool. Whenever this creature becomes tapped, draw and discard. It's an artifact lord. Becomes a blue art. Ooh. Grand Metatact. I don't think it's necessarily good, but it seems cool. So all right, we'll do one more game of Boros, and then call it for today. Um, but yeah, okay. Oh, right, sorry, librarianship. Saying librarianship because it was reminding me the whole aspect of classifying so much stuff, figuring out how to make things accessible to people in how we're classifying, fascinates me. Sketchy keep, I think we keep it. Used him in your niche historic Is It artifact deck. That sounds like the right place for him. I hear niche and artifact, and I go, yup, that looks like Unctus. That is a really interesting effect, though, so it makes something into a blue artifact. Like, that pairs well with the old Memnarch that lets you steal artifacts. I am really excited by the 2-3 for 3 uh, guy that like makes your artifact spells activated abilities cost 1 less. He seems quite fun. I think we are probably losing to mono red this game, because they get to flip the Kumano, so these don't have a chance to come back. We can probably run out an Evangelist, but it doesn't get a lot of value if it dies because of the Kumano. So we can Evangelist. Oh, okay. This might kind of rescue it, because we get to Evangelist and then Knight Errant, and if we manage to survive the turn, which is doable, they're still on 2 lands, and we get to Imidane's Recruiter. I think we actually take the Voldaren Epicure, because that's a guaranteed 1 wider board. So, like, if the Evangelist survives, we survive, we get to do a pretty huge Imidane's Recruiter turn, saying that you need to eat breakfast yesterday when we spoke. You usually stream as soon as I wake up. Yes, that is currently how I have things scheduled, and we are just dead here. Unfortunate. Yeah, I have been streaming as soon as I wake up, which is part of why I've been kind of late most mornings. I am trying to hit it at 9, but sometimes tough to get out of bed in the morning. But I've been using streaming, kind of scheduling it that way, so that it's a way to help motivate me to get up in the morning, helps add some structure to my day, wake up, go eat breakfast after the stream, noodle around, make sure that I'm getting the VODs uploaded to YouTube, work on a couple of other quick projects, and then come back in the afternoon for something that, it's something new, right? So doing drawing, doing Night in the Woods, doing Undertale. So sort of morning, nice bread and butter staple, having some fun with Magic, do sort of daily routine stuff, and then come back and be exploring something new, spend the evenings. I've got some projects I'm working on. I think I may also just start recording like an hour or 2 of playing another game or something, um, and just use that as editing practice to actually try and get stuff chopped up a bit better, because I've just been doing sort of stream re-uploads as is. But yeah, fun way to sort of add some structure to my day for now. But with that, I will check on the Discord messages right after this. But that's going to do it for me for today for Magic. I think we had a pretty good draft. I will make sure that we get enough gold so that we can draft when I come back, which will probably be on, today is Sunday, so probably on Wednesday. I may have to bump it back 1 more day based on some stuff that's coming up, but I will guarantee we will have at least 1 draft to start the week. That said, thank you all for popping in. I appreciate it. And if I don't see you again at 2 p.m. for Undertale, have a fantastic rest of your day. Bye.